The headlines: United Oromo Liberation Front returns home for peaceful struggle. Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador claims victory in Mexican election. Hello and welcome to Oromo Broadcasting Network News, and I'm Thomas Kamulat. Those were the headlines. Now news in brief. Deputy Prime Minister Dammaqe Mokonnin called on the public to further strengthen their support for the changes and reforms being made in the country. Millions of people have rallied in border town of Amhara regional state in support of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, where the remark came out. Fikadu Brown was more.
Residents of Border Town and its environment community have held a rally in support of the reform agenda of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed. Deputy Prime Minister Dammaqe Mokonnin, who was a special guest of the rally, said even though Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed is not here today physically, he is with you ideally.
Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed በአካል በዚህ ታሪካዊ ሰልፍ ላይ ባይታደሙም በመንፈስ ግን አብረውን እንደሆኑ በመግለጽ ለባህር ዳር ከተማና አካባቢዋ ነዋሪዎች የከበረ ሰላምታና መልካም የለውጥ ምኞታቸውን በክብር አስተላልፈዋል.
Even though our premier couldn't attend this historical event, he is with us ideally. Has delivered to you his respectful greeting and wished you a good reform.
Dammaqe adds that the historical rally is not only to bring peace and democracy, rather it can play a great role in all directions.
ጅምር የለውጥ አያያዛችን የሚያጠግብ እንጀራ ከምጣዱ ያስታውቃል የሚል መነሻ መሆኑን አንዘነጋም.
Our start shows something good and hopefully we will sustain it.
He stressed that the time is when love-based unity is created, adding that it is also the time when the government promised to address public questions. Dammaqe notes that it is not time for few people, it is time for many people to engage in economic revolution in order to change themselves. He also emphasized that his government is ready to participate every stakeholders in the country's reforms and development.
ጥቂቶች የሚዘጉሩት ብዙዎች የሚታዘቡ ሳይሆን ሁሉም በባለቤትነት ሊተውንበት የሚገባ ነው.
The movement couldn't move with few people, rather it should be with every stakeholders with feel of responsibility.
Dammaqe underscored that the struggle started with millions couldn't return even for a few time, adding that the government is ready to listen feeling of its people in order to give immediate solution.
President of the Amhara regional state, Gedo Andargachu, called on the Amhara people to strengthen unity of Ethiopia as every being with nationalities and peoples of the country. He made the call on the public rally held in border town of Amhara regional state in support of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed. Leta Teresa.
On the public rally held in Bahar Dar town of Amhara regional state at Bahar Dar International Stadium to show support for Ethiopia's Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed's reform action, President of the Amhara regional state Gedo Andargachu noted that the Amhara people have played indispensable role in strengthening unity of the country, being in collaboration with other nations of the country. He said although Ethiopia is on the path of prosperity, strengthening togetherness and love is important to achieve more success.
አንድ ስንሆን የማይደፈሩ መስለው ይታዩ የነበሩ ተራሮችን መናድ እንደምንችል ተምረናል.
We got a lesson that we could overcome any difficult problem getting united. Loving each other, we are able to bring the era of love and forgiveness in our country. To go forward, we need to have love and forgiveness.
Gedo urged the public to be aware of the conspiracy of the groups who have been attempting to disunite the country.
የኛ አንድ መሆን የግርሳት የሆነባቸው ያልታደሰውና ያሮጌው ዘመን ቁማርተኞች በእግር እግራችን ስር እየተከታተሉ መንገዳችንን በስጋት ሊያሰናክሉ ሲሞክሩ እየታዩ ነው።
Rent seekers who dislike our solidarity for their benefit from the previous old system are today trying what they can to impede our journey. They are deliberately attempting to destabilize the country. They never accept their defeat. We will win them getting united as we did previously.
The president called on the public to play their level best so as to build a prosperous country, stressing the importance of struggling against corruptors and rent seekers. He also called upon the competing parties to work with the ruling party on common issues so as to overcome any challenges and bring alternative choice for the public. President had to underline that it is time to promote good neighborhood with neighboring regions. Gaddu urged the media and social media activists to inform the public both the strengths and limitations of the government without bias. The need to promote transparency. The president said the future of the Amhara people is bright.
A delegation of United Oromo Liberation Front, OULF, led by Brigadier General Hailu Gonfa and Abana Gajara, arrived in Finfinne yesterday to engage in peaceful struggle. The leaders appreciated the reforms undertaken by the government during the past 3 months. Kadu Brown has looked at Chala Baraka's report.
Scholars and political parties have been asked the government to widen democratic space as a solution of lack of peace and stability of the country. The current transformational government has also called for parties which are abroad to peacefully struggle in their country. Accordingly, United Oromo Liberation Front, led by Abana Gajara, has arrived Finfinne holding this flag. It has warmly welcomed by high government officials and the community. The State Minister of Government Communication Office, Kasaun Gofe, said the government has a great respect for the front for accepting a peace call.
Kuni injifannoo guddaadha gara biyyaatti galameeton qabsoo ammoo mana jalqabe kanatti makamuu keessaniif gammachuu guddaatu nutti dhaga'ama baga nagaan dhuftan jechuu barbaanne irra deebine yeroo taanu.
This is a great victory. We are very happy to join with your people to struggle with them peacefully. We would like to say welcome. I hope for the next time you will discuss various issues with government on how to widen the space of democracy.
Chairperson of United Oromo Liberation Front, Abana Gajara, for his part, knows that they are very happy with the government for facilitating such condition.
We are very happy and we are ready to stand by beside the government in order to sustain the started reforms.
Deputy Chairperson of United Oromo Liberation Front, Brigadier General Hailu Gonfa, emphasized that they are here for 3 major things.
We are not saying our idea is the only acceptable. We are here having 3 major ideas. First, we are going to discuss with our scholars. Second, to discuss with youth. And the third one is to discuss with the government. So if these 3 bodies can unite, they can sustain the ever-started reforms.
Oromo community from different parts of Oromia have welcomed the delegation at Bole International Airport.
Teachers' rights said vital to ensure education quality. The Oromo Education Conference held in Adama Town has been concluded. Olkabaundimu reports.
The Oromo Education Bureau has in the conference. On the conference, the issue of quality education gets more focus. According to the information from the conference, quality education gets priority. On the conference, many questions were raised and discussed. Head of Urban Political Mobilization with Opidio Central Office Kafealo Ayana said, to ensure quality education for the benefit of teachers should be respected.
If we want our children to have good outlooking, we have to keep the benefit of our teachers. No one can create happiness without having happiness for himself first. If our teachers became happier, it is easy to create a happier generation for them. So you guys are the leadership who can facilitate things good for teachers.
Head of the Oromo Education Bureau, Dr. Tolabariso said the town and districts of the regional states should give great attention for the leadership of education.
Education has its own managerial skills. The management should be beyond its staff. Education in nature needs strong leadership. So we have to pay great attention when we appoint leaders in educational sectors.
Vice Head of Oromo Education Bureau, Ephraim Tasama, for his part, said the conference is aimed to get input and future work direction.
Objective of the conference was to get some input. The problem raised was quality education, and quality education is improved when the input is improved. A failure of quality education means the failure of political development and social development as well as economic development. So we expect that this understanding on the conference will help us to support the education system.
Some participants of the conference also said by identifying weakness and strengths, they are fully ready to ensure quality education.
We understand the weakness of our delivery, especially around the pre-education and the adult education. In the next year, 2011, each weakness or limitation recorded in this year, categorized and included with the next year plan.
Working to improve school standards, supplementary books, human power, and strengthening ability of teachers were few among the plans of the Bureau in the coming 2019 fiscal year.
The Oromo Justice Bureau stated that works are well in progress to provide swift and fair justice service. The Bureau has evaluated the work performance of the Oromo Attorney Association. Here is Muktaraji for the detail.
The Oromo Justice Bureau has discussed with attorneys drawn from different parts of the region ways of realizing and ensuring justice, human rights and the rule of law. On the discussion, the 2017-18 work performance of justice sectors in the region have evaluated by the participants and lack of coordinating attorneys under proper association, corruption mounting in the sectors, lack of undertaking valid auditing and deficiency in performance were identified as the main drawbacks. Process owner of the Oromo Justice Bureau Government Communication Affairs Taidanda on the event side, creating responsible attorneys in the region would help to overcome the suggested problems.
Above all, attorneys are responsible for justice realization through holding proper discipline in the sector. The Justice Bureau would have to provide supporters for them.
Head of the Oromo Justice Bureau, Tashome Girma, said the main target of the discussion is to create the attorneys serve the public properly.
It is not only to create the attorney association, but also to have professional association that would realize the rights of its member and the public, based on the lawsuit to guide public and the government through criticizing the broken laws. We deserve to create the association that would play its level best in the Oromo economic revolution.
Some participants of the discussion said they would play their part in providing proper justice services.
If it is a strong association, it would work hard to ensure rights for its members and the public. Attorneys are expected to serve the public free to realize rule of law in the country.
We're watching Oben, Voice of the People. Now news from abroad. Mexico's Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador has claimed victory in Sunday's presidential election, setting the stage for the most left-wing government in the country in the decades. An official quick count from national sampling of ballots showed Lopez Obrador, known as AMLO, having about 53% of the vote, putting him well ahead in his main rivals. Exit polls also showed a decisive victory for 64-year-old veteran candidate who has pledged to eradicate corruption and subdue drug cartels with a less confidential approach. In brief remarks at the hotel In central Mexico City, Lopez Obrador called for reconciliation after polarizing campaign and promising profound change that respects the law and the constitutional order. Supporters of Lopez Obrador celebrate his apparent victory in Mexico City's main square. His main opponent, Ricardo Anaya, and the ruling party's Jose Antonio Mede conceded after congratulating him on the win. According to the initial results, Anaya is expected to come ahead to the ruling Institutional Revolutionary Party PRI candidate Mede, who told supporters he wished Lopez Obrador the greatest success. Al Jazeera reported. Well, many thanks for joining us. That's all for now. Have a good time.